Netflix just did a documentary called Untold Swamp Kings, documenting the urban mighty of the Florida Gators. Me being a Florida Gator fan, I was super excited, and then I watched the documentary. Now, it's cool because I'm a Gator fan and I like to see Gators in great positive limelight, but this was an opportunity for us to do something that they did with the U, and we failed miserably. They grazed over one of the greatest college football players in history. I named my son after this man. And for Percy Harvin to be the best player on the Florida Gators team 2007 and 2008, and for them to graze over his story like, yeah, we had Percy, he was really good. No, I wanted to hear about Percy being that guy, about Percy knowing he was that man. And I wanted them to dive into, did Percy feel unappreciated? Did he feel unrecognized? Was there real beef? Did he feel any animosity? I needed to know, because you can't tell me the greatest Gator in history of sports didn't feel some type of way. There was a story that this is Jeff Demps. Jeff Demps played running back in 2008 and 2009 for the Florida Gators. He was an Olympian sprinter. He was one of the fastest humans on earth. And we didn't talk about, or we didn't even get into, this man possibly beating him in a foot race. This is Chris Rainey. Chris Rainey scored like 100 touchdowns in high school. The man is probably top 3 greatest running backs in Florida high school history. And we ain't even discussed Chris Rainey being bruh. We had the Bouncy Twins. If anything, them being twins, they should have made a documentary. But they was extremely close to Aaron Hernandez, and they came from the same high school as Chris Rainey. And they were I heard they was thinking about picking Florida State over the Florida Gators. That is a documentary in itself. And they went on to have fantastic, phenomenal NFL career. One for sure was a Hall of Fame pick. We didn't include white receivers are like coming out of the woodwork these days. Before Cooper Kupp, before the Wes Welkers took over the NFL in the way they did, this man was torching defenses with this silly ass Justin Bieber Alabama haircut. How did we not include Riley Cooper in the Miami got all of their swaggerific players to speak in the documentary. All of their dopest players to speak in their documentary. Chris Leak was the #1 player in the country when he chose the Gators. The man won a national championship. The man was the MVP of the national championship. The man got the prettiest spiral. I bet when he have kids, it comes out in a spiral. And we ain't interviewed. Chris Leak got eyes the color of dollar bills. We could have just zoomed in on his damn eyes for the documentary. You mean to tell me we couldn't get an uncensored idea of what Brandon Spikes said to this man in this picture? Though I wanted to know the words he called him, man. I think he said this, and Brandon Spikes said, no, damn it, tell me what you called him. Because I know you called him an F-boy, a P-boy, a soft-ass boy. I know you cussed out his mama, his sister, his goldfish, if he have one, because black people don't really got goldfish. Emmanuel Ogbah was one of the top players in the country. He went to USC and transferred to Florida. Florida was so deep that he was like the 3rd or 4th string running back. He was quick, he was fast, he was strong, but we were so deep that he couldn't see the field. And we ain't even think to mention that shit. Y'all had Joe Hayden on a team, and we ain't bring him up in the documentary. We had one of the best defenses in college football history. This is why when people say the 0-1 Miami team was the best team, this is why Gators talk that shit, because we had him on one side of the field, and we had Jack Rabbit on one side of the damn field. And y'all chose. No disrespect to anybody that received a full scholarship to play for the University of Florida. My fat ass was not good enough. I couldn't do it. All I could do was be a fan. This was our documentary to challenge the U documentary. The U gave us Boys in the Hood, and Netflix gave us Stump the Yard.